Thanks a lot, Cheche. I didn't know you loved me so much. Well, my presentation is based on a cut and paste of a couple of presentations I had done previously. Okay, it's a sum. I'm talking about the long view of the Philippines. Do you know that between 1960 and 2009, the Philippines per capita income grew by 1.58%. That means using the rule of 70 divided by 1.58, about 40 years, 35 years, it will double its per capita income in 35 years if we go at this pace. Compare that with Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, South Korea, China, Japan. They ranged their per capita, per person growth rate from 3.4% to 6.18%. That means they will double their income anywhere from 22 years to 11 years. What I'm saying is that Filipinos who were earning in 1960 100 pesos are earning now 280 pesos. That sounds good, no? But the people in the other countries who are earning 100 pesos at the same time, 1960, are now earning 500 pesos to 1,900 pesos. That's the situation between the Philippines and its neighbors. Next, please. Yeah. Well, what's the difference? Why do these growth rates differ? The major factor for this difference in growth rates is government policies and institutions. Those government policies, obviously, it's governance, which means to say we have something to do with that because we were the ones who elected these people into government. And institutions have to do, one of the important things there under institutions is the fact of corruption. That is an element which affects most developing countries, but we more than most. There are other reasons, but the major factor in that, if we are 1.58 and the fastest grower is 6.18, that means about 5% difference. If the difference in growth rate is 5%, the government and institutions account for 3.3% of that 5%. Okay, so we're bringing it down now to our leaders and corruption, because I think corruption is the major cause for everything that we have experienced. Next, please. This is what somebody wrote about the Philippines. It is not surprising to find national policies shaped by personalities, landlord-controlled lobbies. This is what Ronald and Walden was talking about, more than by issues and principles. Although public opinion is not ineffective, shifting coalitions of interest groups tend to set the limits of government action. In other words, lobby groups. The major parties are ideologically indistinguishable, have a fluid membership, there's no permanent organization, and rely on local and provincial bases to deliver the votes. Elections have been marred by intimidations. Next, please. Violence, outright gangsterism. Political allegiance is largely determined by private and family interests, your dynasties. Much of the politics centers on patronage. A not surprising consequence is that graft and corruption permeate all levels of public life. Graft and corruption. When was this written? Next, please. Oh, well, hindi pa pala tapos. Perhaps in no other country in South Asia is political dishonesty so widely recognized, accepted, and talked about as part of the political game. When was this written? Next, please. This was written by Gunnar Myrdal, Nobel laureate in economics. He wrote it in Asian Drama, which was published in 1968. You thought it was, you would think he was describing now, but he was describing 1968. That's the challenge. Next, please. Okay. Well, is it hopeless then? At this point, I want to go ahead about corruption. Can you please move it ahead? Chai, where is Chai? Go ahead before coming back. Go ahead. Some more. Oh, wala na. Wala na. Tay muna, nasan yung isa? Okay. You mean to say you cannot put it in? Because I want to talk to you about corruption. That's why I put it from another presentation. Ayan. Okay? I lifted from extensive literature on corruption. What is graft and corruption that has so affected the Philippines so much that its growth is so low, its per capita income growth is so low. Strong causal link between governance, in other words, governance and development outcomes, including GDP per capita, which we talked about, infant mortality, and adult literacy. This is Kaufman. Next. Yan. Higher corruption adversely affects key social indicators such as child mortality rates, income inequality, educational levels, and poverty. Isn't that the issues that are facing us now? All right. Next. These are all empirically. This is all empirical evidence. Corruption retards the emergence of strong institutions over time. Next. Next. Corruption acts as a tax to discourage foreign direct investment. Corruption is a major factor in aid fatigue, undermining donor contributions to development assistance. Next. The deleterious effects of corruption fall disproportionately on the poor. So here we're talking about corruption. Everybody says corruption. All of them are corrupt. But these are the effects of corruption. This has to be presented to us face to face so that we know exactly how corruption affects us. And it affects the poor most of all. Okay? Now we go back. Now we have to go back, I'm sorry, to, ayun. Attracts talented people to counterproductive or unproductive activities. Why do I say that? Well, because you're somebody who comes from LaSalle or Ateneo. I am beyond that. LaSalle and Ateneo, their enmity or whatever it is against each other, doesn't matter. I'm from UP. That's the best. Okay. No, attracts talented. Tiyan mo, galing kayo sa LaSalle, galing kayo sa Ateneo, right? You have a choice open to you. You go to, are you going to work hard, do your own investing, make hirap, etc., or are you going to try to sell, to go into politics and make money and do these corrupt activities? More than likely, let's face it, a lot of our corrupt people are from LaSalle and Ateneo. Also UP. Ang mga presidente natin, lahat UP. Okay, except this last president of ours is from Ateneo. Okay, so that's what it is. When they are faced, Filipinos are rational people. They say, well, what are the costs and benefits? I go here into this line of activity, I sell favors or whatever, I buy favors and make money out of them. or I do a good job, hard working, etc., and I'm not even sure that I'm going to make money. All right? And then it reduces private investment. So all of that distorts optimal management of natural resources. Tingnan niyo ang mining natin. Our mining, we are supposed to be rich in natural resources. And what has happened to mining in the Philippines? Who has it benefited? It has benefited some foreigners, some very rich people, but it has caused enormous destruction to our environment, and we have nothing to show for it, for all that mining and revenue that gets out of the country. Is it not? Corruption. They buy the legislature. There's Walden Bello who was not buyable, so he had to leave the legislature. If you are buyable, you can stay in the legislature. All right? And then corruption prevents markets from functioning properly. I think that's about it. Okay? Oh my God. Corruption undermines, tignan nyo, ang dami-dami. Corruption undermines national efforts to control disease, confront the drug trade, ensure transport safety, etc. All that. Okay. So now we know what the problems of corruption are. And so we say, well, we've been corrupt since 1968 and even before that, because I just did a study on the politics and the economy of the 1950s. So is it hopeless then? Let's go back. You'll have to go back, sweetie. Go back to the first one. I'm sorry. I'm giving him so much trouble because I wouldn't have done it. I would have just talked to you if Chai hadn't said, sige, I can do it. So, she's doing it. Okay. Is it all hopeless then? What are the pluses? What do we have going for us? Ayan. A very active civil society. Admit. The PH vote is one of them. The developmental NGOs. Then we have a church that is exercising the preferential option for the poor. Advocacy of agrarian reform, farmers' causes, etc. We have investigative journalism. Rappler is one of those. Whistleblowers. And then, of course, the judiciary. Once in a while, once in a long while, it has golden moments. Di ba? Okay, those are pluses. Okay, what's going against us? Next, please. This is corruption perception has decreased. In other words, we have been, this is up to 2013. Before we were 2.4, our corruption perception index. Are you going to do that? Are you going to do that? Huh? Okay. 2.4 in 2010, abay naging 3.6 na. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng 2.4? 0 is total corruption, and 10 is clean government. We are now from 2.4 to 3.6. If you think that is great going, and I think it is great going, 2.4 to 3.6, we are very, very far from 10. Okay, next. What are the minuses? Well, there's Walden Bello saying that the agrarian reform that he was trying to continue is in peril. Economic development is full of quotes about how agrarian reform was the basis of Taiwan, of South Korea, of Japan, and of China. People don't remember that. They just think, sige, mag-industrialize tayo. What are you going to do with agriculture? Besides which, investment in agriculture probably gives out more return than investment in industry. Then we have automated elections, flawed. We know that it's going on now. Then we have presidential candidates, not promising. Here is Ronald Mendoza. He did not say. He was talking about Marcos because he's dead na. And then the other. But here we have a living example of a fat dynasty. We're talking about the vice president, who is vice president, his son who is mayor, his daughter who is senator, whose other daughter who is a congresswoman. That the kind you want? Boy, if that's what you want, you deserve them. Next. Okay, next, please. So, is it hopeless? Here's another quote. I will end with another quote. Wealthy, we do not think it will ever become. The advantages conferred by nature, with the exception of the climate, and the level of indolence and pleasure of the people themselves forbid it. They are a happy race, and being content with little are not likely to achieve much. You think they're talking about the Philippines? You got another thing coming. Guess where that comes from? Next, please. Letters from Japan, 1881. Somebody was describing Japan. So 1881 to 1960, 80 years, maybe it will take us 100 years, but there is hope for us. Except, I'm saying, unless the youth of today start thinking about who they're going to vote for, what they're going to vote for. You vote for somebody who is competent, who empowers the people instead of taking power from them, and somebody who has integrity. That's all I want. That's all you should hope for. Thank you very much.